Ready when you are. You ready?
All set.
Awesome. All right, so Jetty, we are roughly halfway through. How's it going so far?
I've loved it. Real enjoyable.
So Marvin, we're halfway through. What do you think?
Oh, fantastic. Oh,
Cool.
absolutely fantastic.
All right, so first of all, just how's it going in general?
It's getting better. Getting more confident out there in the water.
Main thing for me is the swim, as I've said before. Time-wise, although the most challenging, it is the event that I like the most, and just talking to some of our board members like Ryan, Helen, and other swimmers. Teresa, I know that I have at least improved a little bit, trying to work on technique and certainly become a better swimmer.
You were most intimidated by the swim.
That's correct.
As a
Swim.
matter of fact, you were saying, I can't swim, if I remember right.
That is absolutely fact. It's a different story now.
Fantastic. How did it feel out there today?
I can swim. You can throw me out there and I'll be just fine.
But as far as form goes, I've learned through the clinic, the swimming clinic, with Ryan out there. He was teaching us about how important pivoting your hip and getting that reach when you're scooping into
when
the
you
water.
roll your whole body.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's helped out tremendously as far as speed as well, because I'll notice like a significant difference with that.
The bike, how'd the bike go today? I don't remember the distance either. What was the
Yes,
distance?
the bike was 16 miles.
Oh,
So getting closer to Shirai Tri, which is 18, certainly was hot, hot bike course. Hardly any wind when we were out there, but I thought it was good. Flat course, not much headwind at all.
Oh, I actually enjoyed the bike because I've had this bike that I had for 2 years now. So every so often I'll ride the bike. I don't have issue with the bike, but I don't do any intervals on the bike, so I'm not getting faster, but I'm not getting slower, but I'm comfortable where I'm at.
The biking, I'm trying to train more by cycling more, but also just doing more weightlifting. Trying to get my legs stronger so that way I don't have to downshift as much going out there. And I think what I really tried differently to experiment with was hydration.
The run, well, it is black flag. It is hot.
yes,
So-
it is.
So you got to at least make sure that you're hydrated. But it was fine, just as long as you at least make it through, whether you walk or run or in between, that's fine.
It is hot, and every time I do the run, I always assess myself. How am I feeling? Because the bike, when you're there, you have to focus on your nutrition so much that if you didn't drink enough liquid, at one point I wasn't sweating.
Uh-oh.
So I know dehydration is there, but it hasn't kicked in yet. So I had to slow down at one point to make sure I'm not pushing myself too hard.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have aid station out there. Get a little bit of water and cool yourself off, and yeah. So gotta assess on the run always.
Yeah, I'm huffing and puffing, trying to finish the bike as soon as I can, because I know once you get out there on foot, start running, that sun's beaming down on you. And I started grabbing a cooling rag with me, so I'll just wear a cooling rag on the run, just to try to mitigate that heat.
Well, as everybody knows, some days are better than others. Sometimes it may be a little challenging to just get out and do the workout or training, but I just say stick with it.
So, any advice to your fellow first-timers?
Oh, go out there. Go out there. I am here every week. I'm one of those a dozen people that raise their hand that are here every week.
Nice.
Every Friday I'm out here. On my days off, I go run. I work on the food and beverage industry. Halfway through, I have a long break in between, and luckily I work at the Gulf, so I go swim at the Gulf. So go out there
fantastic.
and do it. Just do it.
I mean, the talks have always helpful. Like I went through the entire series last year, and it's always great to be reminded of like the steps to take as you're going around that course. what to be cognizant of, and be mindful of your transition and the time that you're taking on your transition. I think, if anything, to stay more competitive, overall, I'd like to shorten my transition time.
Gotcha. So I've asked you a bunch of questions, but is there anything you'd like to share about your experience with Mere Mortals that we haven't talked about?
I'm just excited to be a part of this. I'm excited that I found it. I got encouraged to be a part of it. I didn't really think I was going to be doing triathlons. If you had asked me, 3 years ago, are you going to do a triathlon? I would have said no. But it's definitely kept me physically active, and it lets me push myself harder out there in the gym, so that way I'm mentally fit and physically fit.